Hi everyone, we are the team with evaluators. We did the project called IKEA Planner website. Today I'm going to be the one to give the presentation, so let's get started. In this presentation, we're going to include the scope of our project, the tasks we performed in the lab, the key findings, the recommendations, and the highlights of key findings. So let's move on to scope. In this project, we're evaluating the design of bathroom planner for IKEA website. The evaluation of this website is task-oriented. 5 participants are tested in the design lab at the university on May 7th with the use of Toby software. So their eye tracking is used to determine the findings when the user are performing the task. Apart from that, all other participants were tested outside the lab in the uni as well. In order to limit evaluating results due to different environments, we have used the same computer for all participants, and no use of eye tracking software has been used in the wide field test. The participants are chosen on the basis of convenience and not by any specific criteria. So all of them are given a pre-test questionnaire along with the question after performing each task and the post-questionnaire. The overall object of performing this task is to determine the possible difficulties the user are experiencing when designing the bathroom planner of IKEA website. Testing all different users will help in reorganizing the complexity of the tasks, and the findings will help in improving the experience of IKEA website. Assessing the effectiveness of all the tasks will help in determining the quality of the website. So let's move on to the tasks. The tasks we have performed in the test, there are 5. The first one is find the link of bathroom planner. With this task, we wanted to gauge how discoverable is the link to bathroom planner among all those other links. And the second is do simple design. We wanted to understand how difficult or if it is easy to perform all those basic operations for the users. And the third one is alter the dimension of the floor plan. So this one's a little bit advanced than the others, as it is rare to see an interface which allows one to virtually design interiors which can fit into a physical space. The fourth one is do further design. It is designed to let the user play around the IKEA website. We wanted to access how efficiently or effectively design in the 3D space, and also if it is easy for the users to learn and functionalities. The fifth one is reopen the safe design. The purpose for this task is we're going to test if the users are going to remember all the steps they performed for the former 4 tasks. And we're going to test if they are able to recall the steps required to open the safe design, which they had seen earlier in the pop-up when they have saved their design. So here's the findings we got in the test. First, we started with the quantitative findings. In our post-quest questionnaire, participants have chosen the difficulty level of each task. It is noticeable that only 12 participants have taken task 4 and task 5, which is due to software issue. We can see that most people think task 1, 2, 4 is easy, but for task 3 and 5, they may think may not. We also got the difficulty level of tasks in the table, which is collected from all those tests, and the quantitative findings for the task completion rate. So we have observers in the lab who's gonna narrow down if the user has completed the test or not for each task and subtasks. And then we got the task completion rate. So according to that, we can see task 2 and 3 and 4 are relatively easy because most of the users have completed it. But for task 1, almost 25% of the participants did not complete it. And for the task 5, I think it's the most difficult one among those, because 40% of the users have not completed. And in our post questionnaire, participants were required to evaluate whether they will recommend the IKEA website to someone else after using it. So here's the data we collected from the questionnaire. 1 to 3 means unlikely, 4 to 7 is likely, 8 to 10 means highly likely. So we've got the recommend rate. It is obvious that more than half participants are very likely to recommend the Space Planner tool to their friends, which is 53.5%. And this is the overall feeling. And so that is another question, our post questionnaire. From the table, we can see that most of the participants hold a positive view about our IKEA website. They think it's simple, it's high tech, it's reliable, friendly, and safe, but they kind of not really agree on it's attractive and clear, because it really took too long to do all those objects in the floor plan. And when they were operating on the Windows system, they were required to install a plug-in component to display the 3D view. So they did not agree with that, and it is not attractive to them. According to their feedback, they could have more options in the real physical store. For example, they could have got so many color choices instead of those colors displayed in our website. And besides all those quantitative data we collect from the questionnaire, we also got some qualitative findings from our feedbacks and observations and the eye trackings. Firstly, of course, the buttons and the links are hard to find, usually due to their undesirable location, color, or the size, which means the font is not easy to find. And secondly, from the eye tracking, we found participants used to scan the website from top down and left to right. And those kind of all icons, buttons, or those content with bold or large size are their first scan preference. And the third one is about instruction and the feedback. The users cannot find any guide or instructions on the website, so sometimes they may confuse what they can do from the page, and they may just stuck there. The fourth one is search function or personal account preference. Participants used to choose to use search function or personal account as the last chance to find something. Search function should be updated. And the fifth one is the loading speed for opening design or change to 3D is quite slow. And they do not get any feedback during the waiting. So they were just wondering if they are on the track or something else. Last one is about the locations of reposition. It is limited. Participants found they could not replace the item in the middle of the bathroom while just the can against the wall. So, due to our findings in our test, we've got the recommendations. And for each task. For the task 1, the bathroom planner link should be more obvious, for example, like an icon on the button. And of course, more instructions are needed on the page, so they can inform the user what they can do from the page. And for the task 2, it's about instructions and the guide again. And what's more is they can make the link in the top bar with bold letters, so the users can know the content can be clicked or linked to somewhere else. For the task 3, it's also about the quick guide how to change dimensions and adjust the graph, so the user can get information what they can do from the page again, and of course inform the user about what is the floor plan, because some users may confused about what is the floor plan and the floor plan. And they change the place, size, and color to make it more obvious and clear. For the task 4, use some more, like maybe upgrade their database or about the server so they can respond to the user in a quick way. So the user would not feel like waiting there forever. And of course, change the button or icon color so when being selected during the designing, so the users would know what they are moving right now. For task 5, delete the code input procedure to reduce additional workload. Put open button on home page while not in each space planner page. And enable user store design in personal account at IKEA website. And delete the thumbnail of design when loading to save design to avoid useless click. Cool, let's move on to the last part of our presentation. It's the highlight of key findings. So I think there are 2. It is about the habit of the user's eye tracking, and the second one is the instruction. For the eye tracking, we found that always the buttons, icons, and the large titles or bold titles are their first scan preference on the website page. So we would like to prefer to put all those useful links as button or icon. And the second one is about the instruction or the functionality. So the users cannot find any instruction. They may get confused. Some users would not know what they can do from the page, and then when that happens, the instruction or the quick guide is going to be helpful. So that comes to the end of our presentation, and I thank you for listening.